in the super chats. I got to talk to you guys about. First, I got to talk to Shakya about AK versus AK, the roast.
Yes.
And that whole experience. I enjoyed the roast. I mean, we've discussed this yesterday in any case. But yeah, so I got to know your experience. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
I just want to say I just loved your bit in it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And also doing a roast without audience and shit like that. It's a very interesting format.
Not bad.
It was, I mean, that was we had to. There was no other option. So logistics tha August thani.
And I also love how Anil Kapoor obviously decided that he's a better joke writer than the joke writers, and was swiftly proven wrong.
It was great fun. I was telling you yesterday, right? It was great fun because there was we had a prompter, of course. So Anil Kapoor was the last one, and so there was material he was supposed to do, but he's you all met stars now, right? And then most of them, when you meet, they're like normal in real life. They're not their big screen image. They're like normal people you can talk to. But old school Bollywood some of them are still like jackass in their heads. Like it's not an act.
Yeah.
Like very outwardly projecting, like walking confidence. Cool. Very chill, very fun, but very much a superstar. So when it was his turn for the prompter, he started riffing. Now, riffing is great if you are a good comedian and can do it. But when you're just riffing, it was really sweet. And he riffed for 15 minutes, and it was hilarious in the way that, you know, when you're at an open mic and your joke is tanking, only the comics are laughing. Like it was hilarious in that way. So we were losing our shit. Bachara Neville direct kar raha hai wahan pe, Neville or Vasani. And they were like, So he did one round of that, and we all laughed. And then I was like, sir, once more for safety, please. Once more. Once more. Like, okay. So then he looked at the prompter and did the thing that you see on the screen right now.
So how many of his rift lines made it to the final?
I don't know if the rift cut was used at all. I may be mistaken. Not on the air. I don't know if the rift cut was taken because it was it would have been very difficult to cut between the two. They were very disparate. Like he was moving around and this and that. So it was fun being there, but as far as like a tight this thing goes, I don't think much of it was used.
And when your director says "ek safety ke liye," means that the first take did not work. It's always that. It's never like this is safety. It's basically an indirect way of saying the first one was do it again.
NG. But it was cool, man. Like I'd never worked with him before, so it was cool to see he was like very chill about the jokes. Honestly, like most jokes they kind of allowed us to do, which is very chill. So yeah, good.
I enjoyed also the fact that he was like, roast me, go for it, live your life. It was fun. I was like nice and sporting. And do you think that? And I want to come to like meeting him and all that stuff. Do you think that since post the roast that you guys did all those years back, there's two questions actually. One is that given the fact that when you did the roast ages back, it was like there was no filter really because the first roast, so you can just do whatever, right?
Yeah. Also, we were learning, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think from then to now, like because of the whatever all the stuff that happened, I mean, nothing really happened. Nobody. Nothing. It's all good.
Nothing really happened though, if you think about it. But yeah.
But do you think that because of now having, I mean, obviously you guys have gathered all this experience stuff, that now the roast that you would do would be more nuanced and this thing?
Yeah. In the sense that obviously you have grown as comics, as writers and individuals. The conversation has moved way beyond what it was in 2014, 2015. So some jokes that you would do then, you would not do now just because like either they're done or they're, even for a roast, they're too much punching down or they're too like you're not going to do this. And some jokes I remember doing in 2014, when you look at it and go, acha, even as a writer, this was a weak joke. Like it was a stretch. Yahan se kheech ke ye element ghusa ke shock value ke liye. But that's all inexperience. But broadly what you're saying, conversation moved. Even abroad, like you're going to see fewer jokes like he's so black, he's so fat. Like you'll now try and do a little more personality based stuff and all. That's a conscious decision. Also, like even if you go ahead and do the formats from like 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, like it's going to sound fuck all. It's you're just going to it's not you right now. So you'll
know what I appreciate if you take if you take like a old done to death format, like a Your Mama So Fat type, but
Yeah.
give like a brand new fucking
Yeah.
joke that no one's heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, the cheat there is like you can change it to you look like the kind of guy, like, and then you can go wild
Of
with it.
course.
You
Oh.
can do,
Yeah,
you can do that, but broadly, yeah, like some tropes have kind of fallen into disuse. Like your very obvious body shaming ones have fallen into disuse. You're not doing jokes about, so gay that, and again, at that point, 2014, 2015, it's not like we were behind the curve. That's what the comedy industry was globally.
Yeah.
So your reference point, whether it's a Jeff Ross or a Seth MacFarlane or Francos of the world or whatever, those are the kind of things they were doing back then, and that's where the cultural conversation was. So that has evolved, and we have evolved as people. So now roasts are different, but they're still some of the most fun things to write.
I think I remember doing the roast. I've done like 2, I think, and it is you don't want to be at the end. Like you fucking like, which is why I actually feel bad for somebody like. By the way, there was somebody who said that Anil Kapoor's unedited cut of the riff should be released, and I'm like, yeah, it should probably, but also maybe not.
Neville को बोलो और Netflix को tweet करो.
It'll be the new Maushiji Gand. That's what it'll be.
But dude, the most interesting thing was that everybody was doing roast during the lockdown, right? And so it first was like Carrie and whatever, and then now just random everybody's doing.
Sorry to be that guy, but that's not a roast.
It is a roast, yeah. I think it was great, and
please, Sorabh, you just don't want to be trolled by 12-year-olds, so you're playing it safe.
Listen, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it was good. Okay.
Sorabh has to answer to his own kids, okay?
Yeah.
Listen, I'll tell you.
He comes sitting at home going, how dare you insult Carrie, Papa?
That's why they take 1 hour to fall asleep. They're just like, Dad, you're not Carrie.
बैठ के रात को बड़वे सीख रहे. Come on.
Listen, I think it was a good roast.
Sorry, if you have to learn bhadve, let it be from our channels.
But one line that I thought, like we were talking about earlier, the expletives, right? And this thing. One line that Carrie had was "Apni gaand se phool nikalunga." Like I was like, that is so absurd. And then he takes out the flower, and so I just laughed at the concept. I didn't even know who the guy he was talking about was. But my question is that the number of people doing the roast and stuff like that. Did you guys, Raunaq and Jeeya? I did one with Akash on Akash's channel, which I thought was really good fun. And Akash had one of my favorite jokes, and like comedians know how to hurt you nicely. Right? So Akash said that Sorabh is the only comedian who, when he releases a video on YouTube, loses ticket sales. I was like, that is so fucking funny. It's a great line. So did you guys, Jeeya and Raunaq, did you guys do any of these roasts and stuff like that people have been doing throughout the lockdown?
I did a 1-hour show on jokes on Kunal Kamra.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Because
that was all you for an hour?
Yeah.
Like on his channel or like
no, just alone, me on my own without Kunal Kamra. Means I invited him. All right. And he was like, I'm too busy. I was like, doing what?
Getting contempt notices is what?
So I honestly thought he was. I thought
he was too busy listening to these jokes already from Twitter people.
Yeah. I thought he was busy making those police ka mask on his own.
यार वो आदमी बहुत मेहनत किया लॉकडाउन में. बहुत अच्छा लगा. बहुत मेहनत किया उसने. You did some roasts also, right?
Yeah, I did a few of those Tanmay roasts on the circuit festival. I think you also then.
I was on one of those. Yeah. I think on the charity stream, the big charity stream.
Yeah.
That was also great fun actually.
I didn't know the charity stream.
So
I did the charity stream. I did the other ticket.
You did the other one. You did the festival one. It was me, Varun Thakur, Neville, Aishwarya, Pavitra, Tanmay. Forgetting something. Yeah, I think it was great fun.
I watched Pavitra on one of her roasts, and I think she was killing.
She was very funny.
Yeah, too good.
Dude, I think Shrija roasting Bassi is still like because she's so, everything she does is so unexpected. Like, you know, like it's literally like hearing a child. Like I was in the lift, okay, and I put on a bit of weight, and one little girl in the lift was like, something about me being pregnant, and it was said so like completely unexpectedly from a 6-year-old child that I was like, and that's Shrija.
Yeah, dude. She's so funny. She's so funny.
So Shrija roasting Basi was still here.
That's yeah.
No, Raunaq, you were saying something. What?
But
oh no, I wasn't. My internet had gone. I was just checking if it's.
No,
I have to
I
shut
was just
my
saying,
window
like,
for it not to get out.
so now this year or whatever, all the recent roasts you've seen,
Huh.
even any international ones, you must have noticed a difference, right, in the kind of jokes they're making. Like even the ones that you did, I feel like you would have gone
Dude,
beyond.
my favorite roast I
Stop
realized
chatting.
is like friends roasting each other is always funny.
Mhm.
Because you know that there is like you will feel bad sometimes, but
course.
because it's friends, you're like, who gives a shit, dude? After a point, it's like who
And-
cares? Like yeah.
And also there's that exposition, right? If like Tanmay and Shakya are roasting each other, there is something that Shakya and Tanmay know about each other that we don't. And
Yeah.
through the joke,
Yeah.
there is that exposition to us, which is hilarious.
Yeah. And also
Like
with roast,
Shrija made some jokes about because I have I talk about it to my friends and I talk about it on my jokes like about my tough relationship with my dad, right? And Shrija had like 5 jokes about my daddy issues. Okay,
Great.
and nobody knows about it. And everyone's like, whoa.
yeah.
Favorite roast of
Wait, what happened? You've gone mute.
Sorabh freeze ho gaya. It's not me, right? It's Sorabh, right?
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
Sorabh.
am I back?
Saurabh's kids are like, carry के बारे में क्या बोला?
Cut the internet. Cut the internet. पूरा cut दिया.
You're back.
My
you're
internet connection is unstable. Is coming. It'll go in like 3 seconds. Okay, it's fine now. My internet connection was unstable. Like my
Just
marriage.
like all the comics.
I was going to say, isn't this the thing, right? When you have the joke, right, about internet connection is unstable, you've had about 3 thoughts, and you're like, which one am I going with here, right? And then you're like, listen, if I do this in this, like, so I was at I think Sapan's wedding, and the joke that I was running was that I'm going to do dad jokes, right? So every single person I was like, "Tumhari shadi kab ho rahi hai, beta?" It's just to be instinct. And then I met Biswa and I told him something like that. He's like, dude, stop making bad jokes. I'm like, but that was the premise. I'm like, are you not? This is my premise, Biswa. But I was going to say something. I liked James Franco's roast the most for that regard.
The roast of James Franco.
Yeah, the roast of James Franco. Because it seemed like a bunch of friends who... There's no damage at the end of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a very close-knit group of friends. Again, you'll notice though that was a few years ago, so the subject was like, they would never do those jokes now. Because 80% of those jokes are Franco, you're so gay. Like 80% of those jokes. Usme Aziz ka bahut acha set tha, where Aziz came and sort of countered all of that shit.
Yeah.
Like just because a man likes to take a shower, he thinks he's gay and all that. So Aziz had a nice, he played that role in that. So, but the feel of that roast was great. I remember the feel was great.
Yeah. Sonak Barman and Vaibhav Chawla is talking about Vipul roast. Yeah, again, we can. So when the Delhi takeover happened, it effectively became a Vipul roast only, where Vipul was just roasting everyone, which was.
Fuck, that must have been harsh.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
But
trust me, I got some messages.
Vipul can be quite scathing. Yeah.
Sorabh, I haven't watched the Delhi takeover. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I feel like I've heard a story where you had to take it down and then upload a censored version. Is that true?
Yeah, very much, dude.
Oh,
so there was because so I think this is right at the start of a lot of comedians hadn't done YouTube lives, right? So everybody was like meeting all these comedians after 3-4 months. So they were like, "Arey, ye mahol to matlab aisa lag raha hai jaise hum log green room mein hai." So a lot of the shit that was said was, you're like, dude, this is in the public. Like, this video has been watched like by 1 million plus people. You can't say this stuff. And also there was a lot of stuff where you're like, you'll just get into trouble. So, and it was, by the way, I don't want people to get into trouble. Yeah.
Dude, please give the unlisted link of the uncensored version.
I'll send it to you.
Even I want to watch
it. Side of it.
Yeah,
but I
man.
don't know I mean, I can WhatsApp you what the jokes were. It was. It was actually stuff that would get the comedian who said it into trouble more than anything else.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want your career to end because of YouTube live. And that, by the way, we've done that. Sorry?
No trouble for you, but
I mean, you never know. You can't predict.
Yeah,
You never know.
Shakya would know that you never know these things.
Silent
you can't predict. You
spectator,
can't predict
Sorabh
this shit.
Pant. Yeah.
Because literally
Platform enabler.
Yeah, and it's literally like, hey, you laughed, so you condoned.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean,
It's
sometimes
true, though, in a way.
that's true. But sometimes it's also the discomfort, right? Where you're like, there's various types of laughter.
Yeah, it's not like you can vanish in the middle of a joke.
Yeah, totally. That's not funny, yeah.
Just imagine if you're that guy in a room filled with comedians, everyone's saying shit, and you don't probably agree with it. So you're like, is that funny? Is that funny, Delhi comic? We never do that in Bombay. And no one wants that, but they expect that from you. Yeah.
But and that's not the first episode that we had to edit, by the way. There's been like 4 or 5, and it's been literally stuff where people have told me that, hey, can you remove this bit?
You know that when you, I think in the beginning of the lockdown is when you put out that why EIC broke up video, na?
Yeah.
कैसा clickbait कर रहा था Sorabh?
Wow, that was no. A lot of people were like, "Listen, watch this. It's serious. Can you forward to this part and watch this part and all?" And people were sending the link with the time to watch.
Yeah. I'm sure.
That's so fun, dude.
Very good, dude. What acting? Oof. It was best.
Dude, it was one of my favorite because I knew that it had gone serious when Biswa called me like, "Bhai, tu kya kiya yaar?" he's like, "Tu janta आधे लोग को समझ में नहीं आएगा क्या कर रहा है तू?" I'm like, "Oh shit, are you serious?" My favorite was Angad's dad. Angad's dad is one of the sweetest men and very supportive gentleman. He's of all of us. He's a very kind and this thing. And in the comments, I think one of his first few comments was like, "Beta, this is not the place to talk about these kind of things." And my mom also took it seriously. Where she's like, "Sorabh, I expected better from you." And then, one part of me is like, "Oh, I should take it down." And the other part of me is like, this discomfort is making it funnier for me.
Yeah.
People are not understanding the joke. Yeah.
Dude,
so funny.
Dude, it was so funny. And to be honest, I couldn't tell. I had to keep opening everybody's Instagram to make sure it was a joke, which is what made it even funnier.
I completely forgot about it. It's great fun. I had Atul, and so the fallback of that was you also realize how psychotic some people are, right? Where people are just waiting for a provocation to hate whoever, right? So basically, what happened was that I released that video, and then Sahil released a video, and then Atul released a video with, let's just say, horrible acting. Right? It was like one of the worst acting performances. They're like, "Beta, and I'm like, dude, Atul, we are trying to undersell it. That's the joke." So I had fans of mine telling Atul to go fuck himself. Then I had fans of Sahil telling me to go fuck myself. And that whole thing. And I was like, you guys didn't see the full videos of either of them. Because it's obviously a joke, and also the trigger happiness of people is amazing to me. It's great.
And it was the hashtag justice for Takla, na? That is.
Yeah.
Was it from there? Yeah.
Justice for Takla. By the way, I'm getting requests. Manusij Basu has given us super chat saying, "Can I please get the unlisted version of Delhi Takeover 2, please? Pretty please." 100 रुपए में मैं नहीं देगा. बहुत कम है.
तू बेल का फीस और लॉयर का फीस सुपर चैट में डाल, फिर मिलेगा.